What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the Justice League movie. So this is going to be my full Justice League review with spoilers. So guys, let's get into it. You've been warned. This is going to be a full review with spoilers, going over everything. I'm going to try and keep it under 20 minutes long. So yes, I did love the Justice League movie because it's a very simple movie. A small child could understand the concept. Basically, the concept is Steppenwolf's coming to Earth to destroy Earth and take over it. The Justice League have to form a league. The Justice League get beat. Superman returns. Steppenwolf gets defeated. The end. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. So it is a basic comic book movie. Was it better than the first Avengers movie? Yes, and that's the only comic book movie you should be comparing it to, because it's the first DCEU team up. You can't really say Suicide Squad was a team up movie, because let's be honest, guys, it's not the Justice League, it was the Suicide Squad. So some people said that was the first DCU team up, but no, it was Justice League. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Although it wasn't perfect, I did enjoy it. So let's get into spoilers. So how did Superman return? I mean, I personally think they went with a kind of okay way to bring Superman back. Basically, Cyborg and The Flash brought Superman back, and ironically this is exactly how a leak said. So basically they went into the Kryptonian ship where Superman potentially could be reborn. So essentially they lied him down in water. The mother box was there. Barry Allen had to hit the mother box as hard as he could using the Speed Force, and then it would shock Superman back to coming back to life. And obviously this was the third mother box, the last one. And then when Superman came back, he wasn't evil, he was just confused. He was confused, and it was pretty badass. There was a massive fight between Superman and the rest of the team, and he absolutely overpowered all of them and destroyed all of them. And there's a funny line between Superman and Batman where Superman said, "Tell me, do you bleed?" And this was a direct reference to what actually happened in Batman vs Superman, when Bruce Wayne said to Superman, "Tell me, do you bleed?" And then after kind of Superman kicked his ass, Batman's like, "Yeah, I do bleed." So it was pretty funny. That was a quite funny scene. Superman's return for me was absolutely perfect. And obviously we all know Lois Lane was the key, because in the Batman vs Superman scene where Ezra Miller, the Flash, said Lois is the key. So obviously that's his big gun, that's his weapon. As soon as Superman seen Lois, he basically remembered everything and came back to normal. So that was a pretty sweet scene. Well, let's talk about the Darkseid Prelog fight. Although they worded it as Steppenwolf Prelog, it was basically a new 52 Darkseid war, but they changed it to Steppenwolf. And it was interesting because yes, we've seen Ares and Zeus. Everyone's saying it was Shazam or the Wizard. No, it was Zeus. Zeus was the guy who shot the kind of thunderbolt to Steppenwolf. So that was interesting. What was also interesting is, yes, we did see the Green Lantern. So yes, the Green Lantern was in the movie, but I can't for the life of me find out who it was. It was one of the most unpopular Green Lanterns. Basically, they died, and then the ring went off, which is obviously a setup for Justice League 2 or a setup for the solo movie coming in 2020. But it wasn't Hal, it wasn't John. I mean, basically, the Green Lantern did kick some ass against the Parademons, but essentially the Green Lanterns got destroyed. So that was interesting, and it was an interesting backstory, although it was kind of rushed. The main thing that people didn't like about the villain is we didn't really find out anything about Steppenwolf. We didn't get a backstory, we didn't get an origin story. The fact that it was motion capture kind of made the kind of fighting scenes, they were good, but I felt like if they were physically fighting each other in real life, it would have made much more sense. And we got an Aquaman teaser with Mera. So there was a scene underwater before Steppenwolf took the mother box from the Amazonians, where Mera used her Warstu to kind of traverse the water, push Steppenwolf back, and then there was a massive scene with Mera and Aquaman where she says, "You're the rightful heir, you need to take responsibility." And as it was his responsibility, he realised that the power the mother box had, that it could destroy the Earth. So he went out, used the Trident, or at least I thought it was Trident, but it wasn't actually the Trident, it was something else. But that was interesting. Can't wait for the Aquaman movie. Such a cool little tease between Mera and Aquaman. Can't wait to see more of that in the Aquaman movie that comes out later next year. The team chemistry between the whole team was the strongest thing in the whole movie for me. There was lots of quirky little scenes that worked and didn't work. I mean, The Flash was very different to The Flash that we are accustomed to on the TV show. I mean, personally, I like The Flash, but some people didn't like The Flash. I mean, he was quirky, geeky, kind of. It was a total different version, and for me, that's why I liked it. But for some people, they didn't like that version of The Flash. I mean, I can understand why. Darkseid, why wasn't Darkseid in it? There was a reference to Darkseid. Basically, Steppenwolf was trying to get in Darkseid good books. I think half the issue was Darkseid was supposed to be the main villain after Steppenwolf, and we were supposed to feel his presence. But to be honest, we didn't feel any kind of presence. Steppenwolf was a throwaway villain, Marvel style. You wouldn't even know who Steppenwolf was, to be honest. He wasn't a very good villain. He was good enough for the movie, but let's be honest, guys, we should have a better villain for a movie like this. This is why someone like Darkseid needs to come along. I know they teased, obviously, the Injustice League or Legion of the Doom with the Lex Luthor post-credit scene saying that him and Deathstroke need to form a league. So it will be quite interesting to kind of see where they go forward with this. A lot of people are really upset with the whole kind of how. I don't think Steppenwolf was actually bad, but a lot of people say that he wasn't much of a threat. I mean, the Superman return was quite cool. A lot of people saying he came out as Bizarro, evil Superman. It wasn't. He was just confused. For me, it made a lot of sense, and I think you did feel a presence of the fact that the SEO of Warner Brothers told them that the movie had to be 2 hours 1 minute. That's 2 hours 1 minute with the credits, not with the movie. So really, the movie was only really 1 hour 50. I mean, I thought the story was quite strong. Although the backstories for a lot of the characters were quite weak. We obviously had the Reverse Flash tease, Easter egg confirmed, with Henry Allen being in jail and Barry Allen saying that he didn't do it. Obviously, all as comic book fans know that it was Reverse Flash. Eobard Thawne killed Nora Allen to set, basically just to kill Nora Allen because he killed Barry Allen. Then Reverse Flash wouldn't exist even though he's from the future. So it's really interesting, and I really hope we do get some random tease for Reverse Flash being like part of the Flashpoint movie, because realistically the Flashpoint movie can't actually take place unless Barry Allen runs back in time to stop his mother from being killed. So obviously that will have to be the prerequisite of the whole Flashpoint storyline. But overall, it's good. It's looking really good for the overall DCEU as a whole. Now I understand what the critics said. It said when you see the trailers, you've not really seen anything, because a lot of the trailer footage, guys, wasn't even used in the movie. There was like the whole Alfred scene where everyone said it's Superman, no, it's Green Lantern. Well, guys, comment down below. We're never really going to know who it was because that scene was deleted. Obviously, Zack Snyder had to step down. Joss Whedon took over and did his best. So there was probably a good 30 minutes to 1 hour footage that we're never ever going to see, which is a massive shame. I really hope on the extended Blu-ray cut that we get to see a kind of Zack Snyder, the vision that he had, the extended cut with Darkseid in. I really think fans really would want that. It would be quite cool if you got to see that, but I can't see us getting that because obviously Lex Luthor did film a lot more. Deathstroke obviously filmed a lot more. Iris West got cut. A lot of people got cut. There's a lot of English actors that were in the movie got filmed. Some Amazonians and stuff like that got cut. So I kind of feel bad for them, but they're still happy that they kind of got paid to do whatever they did, and they had the Justice League experience. Although their kind of cuts, their scenes didn't get into the movie. But for me, I don't know. It was just annoying because the whole Batman versus Superman, the Omega signs on the floor, Nightmare Batman looking over, and we've seen it. I mean, yes, you could say they're playing the long game, but I hope they don't play the Thanos long game where it takes 10 years to get Darkseid. As a lot of people are going to walk away from this movie feeling, damn, that team had a good chemistry, really did work together, but are they really going to remember the story? I love this movie, guys. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It wasn't perfect, it was good. But obviously, because this is a spoiler review, I'm going to go into more of my own personal feelings and thoughts about what I thought about the overall story. Yes, it could have been stronger. Yes, I think they cut out too much. It should have been 2.5 hours. It needed an extra 10 to 20 minutes so we could get a bit more backstory about the Flash. Because to be honest, guys, we didn't know anything about the Flash. And if you weren't a big Flash fan, you wouldn't really know anything about the Flash. A lot of people I know that are watching the movie don't know anything about the Flash. They don't watch the TV shows. They're not going to know who Darkseid is when the Steppenwolf drops the Darkseid name. We know Darkseid exists in the universe now because Steppenwolf said he'd been exiled from his mother world, Apocalypse. A lot of people aren't going to know anything about Darkseid, which is a shame because Darkseid is such a cool story. And the Prelog fight was a new 52 Darkseid War storyline, although you're not really going to get this from the movie. So this is why people like me will do videos like this. We're going to explain this and break everything down. I mean, overall, I did love the movie, but I think Cyborg did suffer a bit from his whole suit being pure CGI. That's maybe why he wear a hoodie. I think it was cool that they kind of retconned a bit of the kind of Wonder Woman storyline a little bit, how she disappeared for hundreds of years. They retconned it post Wonder Woman, so it's kind of cool. I love the new Superman. I love Superman. Batman vs Superman was amazing, but we have got a better version of Superman, one that's smiling, one that's happy, one that's cracking jokes, one that's strong as hell, because Superman is so strong. His chemistry with the Flash, them races, that post-credit scene where he raced the Flash, it was a cheeky Easter egg to the comic books where they raced multiple times dating back to 1976, Race of Your Life and other things. It's just so cool how they just kept teasing that. And then the Superman return when Barry Allen was running and you could see the Speed Force and Clark Kent could still turn his head, and it's just it was just so cool. But I don't honestly understand all this lost footage, deleted scenes, Darkseid not being in it, Green Lantern being in it but not really being in it in some kind of exponential kind of form. I would have loved to see Green Lantern physically there, although the ring did fly about. It did fly off sea to its next host. It would have been better to physically see Green Lantern in the movie. But yes, guys, Green Lantern was in the movie, Deathstroke was in the movie, Lex Luthor was in the movie. I guess you could say Darkseid was in it in memory, but I just hope that we get some kind of deleted scene that appears online, similar to the whole Steppenwolf that teases Darkseid coming at some point. Although I think the Injustice League would be cool as they teased it with the scene at the end in Arkham. And then we get Deathstroke on the yacht. And then we got Lex Luthor saying we need to form a league. Although I think Legion of Doom would be cool and the Injustice League would be cool, I think Darkseid coming would be a lot better. But I think people would feel like, oh, Steppenwolf tried to take over the world. Now Darkseid's trying to do that. Although Darkseid is a lot stronger and is hella strong. I mean, his whole aim is the anti-life equation. So I feel like if Darkseid was to come in Justice League 2, it would feel like a carbon copy of the first one, because originally it was going to be a two-parter. The first one was going to be the origin story. The second one was going to be Darkseid's present, as Darkseid was supposed to be in the movie a lot. He was rumoredly supposed to kill Steppenwolf at the end, but obviously the end, how Steppenwolf got beat, was actually just the parademons essentially killed him, because they could smell his fear after Superman used his freeze breath and broke his axe. He obviously got scared, and then the boom tube came up, and then he just disappeared, and we presume he went back to Apocalypse and died there. I mean, you could say that was a Darkseid tease, although that would be stretching quite far. I mean, I really did like Batman. We got a new Batman. He's got a new hope. He wants Batman to come back. It's very interesting how they used the Mother Box to bring Superman back, but why did they use the mother box? I mean, they could have used the Ravager in the kind of Fortress of Solitude. They could have brought Superman back multiple kind of ways, and they didn't really follow the death of Superman storyline that many comic book fans thought they would be following the death of Superman storyline, which it didn't annoy me, but some people kind of maybe got annoyed about it. I felt like they could have used more cameo roles. I mean, yes, we did get some cameo roles with Zeus, Ares, Green Lantern, which was interesting. I mean, the kind of writers for the Justice League movie have hinted at Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter for the second movie. Obviously, Martian Manhunter, John Jones is a character on Supergirl TV show, so it would be quite cool. And they did reference Steve Trevor. Batman drops a line into us saying, well, you wouldn't have done this if it was Steve. So that was kind of interesting how they tied Steve Trevor's name into this, as obviously Steve Trevor is a big part of Wonder Woman's history, in the sense of what you know from the TV, from the movie. So overall, I did love the movie, but like I said, there were a lot of issues. A lot of things could have been done better, but obviously they didn't change director. Zack Snyder brought Joss Whedon on board to kind of basically finish what he started, do the reshoots. So just to say it's a kind of Joss Whedon movie is kind of totally wrong. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comment box down below. What do you guys think? Were you happy with all the kind of little Easter eggs, references, the Black Canary reference? There were so many kind of references that you could pick up on. I'm doing this video freestyle. I've literally not got any notes. This is me just talking out of my mind, speaking from what I remember. I mean, I'm going to watch it again tonight. So it's just interesting. Hopefully you guys like this kind of video. Let me know. Does anyone know which Green Lanterns it was? Because it was a split second, was really hard. The whole Rotten Tomato 40%. It's kind of funny because Warner Brothers own part of that. Warner Brothers own part of Rotten Tomato, so it is kind of, it is kind of wrong. I do find it funny how Steppenwolf took Green Lanterns out really, really easy. So that was the part of the trailer where it said no lanterns. So obviously, yeah, because it's referring to how we said here that the Green Lanterns would be destroyed. I think Jason Momoa absolutely killed Aquaman. Can't wait for the Aquaman side of the movie, guys. That is gonna be so cool next year. Mira was fantastic. She killed her role, although she only had a small cameo role. Cyborg saying "Booyah" at the end was pretty cool, because obviously they've retconned his backstory in the most recent Rebirth, so he's part of the Justice League and not like really a Teen Titan anymore. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Let me know, guys, did you like Ezra Miller's version of the Flash? Did you like the new Superman, as they have kind of retconned him? He's kind of lighter tone, but that was all part of that was all part of Zack Snyder's vision when he started Man of Steel, then obviously Batman vs Superman, and then Justice League. It's the end of a Superman trilogy, you could say. There were so many Easter eggs, like Rick and Morty playing in the background of the kind of, I guess you could call it, Flash Cave. That was pretty cool. So many cool. I mean, it's the way it started with Superman being on a cell phone recording with some little kids. It was such a cool movie. It did need a lot longer, to be honest, but I'm not going to nitpick. I did love Wonder Woman, was absolute badass in this. I felt like I think she was big. She was affected most, I think, because you would have thought with the success of Wonder Woman, they would have retconned some of the Justice League to make Wonder Woman scenes a bit longer, but she felt like a supporting act for Batman, really, and that's not the way that it should have been. I felt like Batman was the main star, then Superman came in, and then the kind of whole energy went up tenfold. There was not one bad Superman scene, although that Superman Superman moustache CGI editing was really bad. They should have just brought him back with a full-on beard, no black suit. I mean, them two are the only criticisms I've got for Superman. He should have came back with a black suit on. He should have came back with a full-on beard. Then they wouldn't have had to retcon the whole moustache thing. That they should have just made him a kind of full-on beard. But anyway, guys, that's my full-on review, spoiler. Make of it what you like. I did love the movie. Bit of a freestyle. I don't normally do videos like this, just spinning. I mean, let me know, guys, did I miss anything? Did I miss any Easter eggs that you guys picked up on that I didn't? I went over the main narrative, what I liked, what I didn't dislike. But like I said, guys, I loved this movie. I absolutely loved it. So, yeah, I went into as much depth as I could. Let me just think, did I miss anything? No, I don't think I did. I'm going to post my post-credit video before this, but hopefully some of you guys can watch the whole video and let me know down below, guys, what you think. Please like, subscribe, and comment. That would be awesome. Just because the Justice League's over, we're still going to keep DCEU, Justice League, more Justice League videos coming out, as there's going to be news coming out about Justice League 2. We've got Aquaman, we've got Shazam. We'll also do like Infinity Wars, Marvel stuff on this channel, Black Panther, The Flash, Arrow, DC Legends tomorrow, Supergirl, all this kind of DC comic book stuff is going to be on this channel ongoing, and I hope you guys can fully support me. Patreon is down below if you guys want to support stuff like this. I would like to do longer videos, but they don't really get much interest, so I will catch you guys in another video very soon, guys. Catch you later.